Hi, good morning. Today I'm going to talk about how to set up the Soundaware D300 with the DENAFRIPS DAC. Soundaware is a streamer. This D300 that I have here is a second flagship streamer from Soundaware. The highest end, the flagship model is D300 reference. The difference between the two is the D300 reference comes with built-in super capacitors where inevitably sounds a lot better, but the function wise is the same. So Soundaware streamer is a basic streamer. If you do not use Roon, it can be a PITA to set up or a PITA to use. PITA, PITA, is not so convenient to say it out loud here, but I guess you know what it means. So you need to have a Roon core to use it, and the connection wise is pretty straightforward. The power cord goes into the power socket, and it's the Ethernet cable connected to the Ethernet port, where the end of this Ethernet cable should connect to your router. And the digital output, depending on your DAC. For my case, I'll be using the HDMI I²S output, where the HDMI cable is connected to the terminator plus HDMI input right over here. So if you have a DENAFRIPS, Pontus, Venus, Terminator or Terminator Plus, the setup will be quite similar. So power up the Soundaware, and it should put up in about 1 minute or rather 30 seconds. And let me set the backlight time to always on so that we can see the instruction. Okay, use this remote control to navigate to different option in the menu. So there's a menu button where you can press to go back to the root of the menu, and the left right button to select different feature. So I'll be clicking the remote control to select a few functions that you will see in the next few seconds. So main menu, and the first thing we need to do is to go to general setting, the network setting. First we have to give this streamer, the Soundaware D300 or the D300 reference, an IP address. So most of the router in these days assign DHCP IP address to the device, to the connected device. So click on the DHCP, and the router should assign the IP address to this streamer. So it assigns an IP address ending with 0.043 to this device, and the only option that you can do now is to press OK. So this should assign an IP address to this device, and it should be able, it should appear and or rather connected to the same network that in your household. The second thing you need to do is really to navigate to select source and click and select the Roon ready. So this screen will appear right over here, and let me put out the remote control. This little rectangle right over here says that despite it is Roon ready, but there's no music playing. So this rectangle here indicate there's no music playing and it is stopped. So the next thing to do is to go to your Roon core. I have a laptop here where it is connected to my Roon core. Go to setting. I'm sorry about the reflection. Go to audio, and you should see at the bottom here where I'm not sure whether it says connected to the network. Okay, there's a device connected to this the same network where Roon detected it is a Roon ready device. It says Soundaware D300 with the IP address of 0.43. Click on the enable button, and you can change the name of this device by clicking this button here or the pen icon here. So type the name that you would like to have and press enter. Okay, and you can have some device set up. So this is the Soundaware streamer device setup. Set the MQA to no support. Volume control the device volume, max volume, and the rest of the setting like sampling rate should be 192, DSD should be 128, and disable the MQA core decoder and press the save button. Yeah, because it was already saved, so I cannot click on the save button. So I have Tidal connected to this roon core, where let me see, because we are using the I²S connection from the Soundaware to the Terminator DSD or the Terminator Plus DSD, or if you have Pontus or the Venus, it's the same. So we need to have the initial setup where we set up the I²S pinout. I usually use this album from Tidal to help me. Audio tone test. So the audio tone test utility, there are a few tracks inside this album that is pretty helpful, particularly the first and the second and the third one, where we can check the left-right channel, the in-phase tone and the out-of-phase tone. So I just, okay, the first thing you need to do is choose the correct player to play with roon. Click on this button, click on this icon here, where you can choose the roon ready device that is connected to the roon core to play back the music. So roon can manage multiple devices. If you have multiple devices in the network, or if you have multiple devices that is connected to this roon core, you can have a long list here. I've seen a customer using like 8 devices in roon, using roon. For me, I only have 2. The first one is HQ player, the other one is D300. So click on the D300 and hit on the play button. So the music should be playing if you select the I²S A input for the Terminator Plus. Okay, Terminator Plus I²S A selected.
Right.
And let me turn up louder. Okay, I'll repeat the first track because it helps me to check the left-right channel. This is the most helpful track.
Center.
So repeat the track.
Right.
And left-right channel currently is playing correctly.
Right.
Because I think I have the I²S set up correctly.
Right.
So how do you configure the I²S?
Left. Right.
I²S A selected.
Center.
Press on the mute button once. And once the mute is engaged, the LED blink from the left to the right. And press on the phase button momentarily. Momentarily means you press it and you release it multiple times. And you can see there are a couple of LED turn on and off. It is in binary form where 000 and 111 appear or display using the LED. So you need to configure this to the right one. Left. Okay.
Right.
We have 000 where left,
right,
and right, center are playing correctly.
Right.
But this is not enough because we'll be playing PCM and DSD. So I will use roon. I will usually use roon DSP to upsample the PCM to DSD, so that we know that in DSD over I²S it play correctly as well. So go to this DSP setting in roon, select sample rate conversion, choose DSD 64 and hit on this enable button, and you should see DSD is playing roon ready 2.8 MHz 1 bit, and the display right over here will be 1X and DSD, and you can hear that the left is coming from the left and the right is coming from the right. So let me show you. If you have the I²S A configured wrongly, you should hear a lot of noises. So press on the mute button once and press phase button. Oh, this is out of phase. I'm not sure whether you can hear this. It's also out of phase. Out of phase again. Out of phase. In phase. Okay. So for this setup, 000 is the correct setting. And we're in business. So we have the I²S set up for the Soundaware to the DENAFRIPS DAC. And let's hit the button again to disable the sampling rate conversion. And PCM 44.1 kHz is
Right.
playing,
Center.
and
Left.
DENAFRIPS is showing,
Right.
the terminator
Center.
DAC is showing 44.1
Left.
kHz
Right.
playing.
Center.
The left-right channel is playing
Left.
correctly.
Right.
I highly
Center.
recommend to use Roon with
Left.
Soundaware Streamer because
Right.
Roon is
Center.
pretty powerful, and the protocol between the Roon core and the
Left.
connected Roon ready
Right.
devices is really
Center.
good. So please consider to use Roon.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Center.